Hello, everybody. This is Capitalist from Join Dota. I have joining me MiSeRy of Alliance. He's here, DreamHack, just pretty much hanging out, correct? You're just enjoying watching the games and that sort of thing?
I'm just chilling.
Yeah. Okay, so I think everybody wants to know, so we'll lead off right at the start of the interview. What exactly is going on with Alliance?
Well, we had kind of a rough patch for a while after going back from Starladder, and even around that time as well, since Chessie was injured.
Right.
And I guess both me and Bulldog felt like we could use a break from competitive Dota and from the team in general.
Right, because you guys were always having to play with stand-ins, and that was kind of what was officially put out as you guys were kind of tired of that, right?
Like we played with stand-in, and we played with two different stand-ins, Honey first and then Ape Mother, and I mean they did a good job, but it was very hard for them to just come into the team and change everything, because even around the time we still had some issues in terms of our playstyle and how to improve. So it was very hard for the individual to come in and change anything. So, yeah, in general, it was just very hard for us to improve from there, and it was kind of demotivating because we didn't know what was going on with Chessie. We kind of decided internally to wait for him, but it didn't seem as it was getting better throughout the time. I think it's getting better now,
right?
But not during the time we were playing tournaments. So that was pretty demotivating, and it ended up being me and Bulldog just taking a break from the team.
Now, do you guys have a rough timeline on how Chessie's doing? And
I actually haven't heard so much. We haven't actually talked so much about it ever since we took that break. And obviously, I'm still just a stand-in. I'm not contracted or anything. So I don't actually know what's going on. And for the future, I don't know either. We haven't talked that much about it, and yeah.
Okay, so in which case, if you perchance didn't stay with Alliance, if you maybe moved on, because as you said, you're still kind of like, still in that stand-in category and not really sure where the team's going, hypothetically, do you have any teams that you would like to be able to join that you are interested in?
Well, the team I respect the most is EG.
Right.
For sure, I feel like they have by far the most professional way of like just handling things, and the way just they play, and basically everything. I feel like they're just a level above everyone else in Europe, or in the Western scene, I should say. But obviously they're 5, and that's not gonna happen. Apart from that, I don't really know. I think I'm just gonna continue my break and then see what happens if I get any opportunities or something like that. Maybe I will start streaming. In the middle of December sometime when I get the better internet. So,
real quick, what's your Twitch account?
My Twitch account is Twitch TV/MiSeRy the Slayer, I think.
Okay.
I'm not even sure. It's a long
That's right.
time.
I forgot that. That's really part of your old school name back in the Dota 1 days. MiSeRy the Slayer.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. So in which case we'll get back past the Alliance stuff. What about what's going on in this tournament? I know you've been watching a lot of the games. How do you feel like some of the teams are doing so far? For me, a bit of a surprise has been the fact that Virtus Pro Polar have actually really come together as a team despite stand-ins and everything. They seem to be doing pretty well.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts so far on the timeline and the story of this tournament?
Well, I think both VP Polar and VP have surprised pretty much everyone.
For sure.
I would say. VP Classic especially. I don't think people even expected them to go through the second phase necessarily. So that's really big of them, and they've suddenly started playing really well, and God is like back.
He really is.
Yeah, God is back to kill them all, so he's playing really well.
Okay, so what about Evil Geniuses in Cloud9? We saw earlier Evil Geniuses still looking in top form, easily 2-0 up against Virtus Pro Polar. FNG, I had an interview with him. He said he really wasn't disappointed by that. I mean, it's EG. He says they're like the best team out there, so he was fine with that. EG seemed to be looking really good. We did see Cloud9 lose up against Virtus Pro. Would you say that's more Virtus Pro looking really good, and like you said, God is back, or do you think Cloud9 maybe a little bit of weakness there?
From what I've heard, they haven't practiced so much, Cloud9, but I mean, I don't feel like that's an excuse. There's so many games all the time, so that's just no one really gets to practice so much. But I feel like it was the first game on the stage, I think, by Cloud9, that game against VP, and that can be maybe a bit hard to start off with, whereas VP played a lot of games already on the stage. So that may have something to do with it, and yeah, I think VP just surprised Cloud9, and maybe Cloud9 played a bit poorly or had some questionable drafts. So.
Is there anything special that you've really seen over the last, whether it's this tournament or perhaps the last 2 to 3 weeks, the build-up of like the draft, and any big changes there? I mean, obviously the Elder Titans really come into flavor of the month, but is there anything else that you've really seen?
Well, the Titan was kind of around ever since like
Star Ladder
around that time. The support Titan that is. What I find interesting now is how much people are abusing the Ancients and this Vengeful Spirit +1 coming into play, where you this AFK Venge at the Rune / Ancient, stacking, and then he has the Howl as well to clear them faster and stuff. And I think that's really clever, and I think you need to either do that or like do something about it, because it does give you like a lot of cash and experience.
So this is something that PPD actually brought up, is that he said that having an offlaner that is actually able to farm up Ancients is really important in this current patch. And he said a lot of it is because it's harder to push, whether it's because some of the heroes that are being run right now are tough to push into. There's also obviously the patch changes where Tier 1 towers refreshing Glyph, Tier 2 towers being stronger. Do you see like a very similar, do you agree with PPD that this whole entire meta is maybe a little bit more evolved for offlaners around Ancients?
Well, I don't think it necessarily has to be the offlaner that has to kill the Ancient. It could also be like C9 just now have this Terrorblade and Venge, and then the Terrorblade farms it. It can also be a safe lane, and then you just need to rotate a bit. But basically just having this one hero of one of your cores or something that can farm the Ancients eventually, or within the first 20 minutes or something like that. And about the pushing, I also agree. It's hard to push into some heroes that are picked now, the Titan and Venge and stuff. But at the same time, people don't pick push heroes so much. It's some Jakiru and stuff like that. But
we don't see classic like Channer Enchantress being picked up. Yeah. We don't necessarily see like a whole lot of Luna strats that used to be like pretty push oriented.
Like people don't pick like they did in 81, for example, the push oriented heroes, and people don't put so much emphasis on it, and there's no point to do it because the towers don't really give you that amount of gold that is to why you would do it. I mean, you do get some map control, but it's if the enemy has better team fight or some mid game or whatever, and you start 5-manning, you're gonna get behind on experience. You'll get some map control, but if you lose one team fight, then it's not worth it.
Okay, so in that case, if pushing isn't the answer to dealing with these Ancients, if it's not taking map control away from the enemy, do you have some ideas of how to deal with this Ancient? I mean, is it just doing the same on your side? Is it actively like maybe putting more pressure with smoke ganks and focusing on maybe ganking that Ancient area, or do you have any ideas?
Well, I mean, it depends. Like, if you know the enemy is gonna play Dire and pick Venge and do this stuff, then there obviously are some things you can do about it. Like you can, first of all, you can ward the camp. If that gets removed, then if you don't choose to do that, then there are some heroes that could be really good against it, like just having even some roaming bounty hunter or something, just fucking with his Venge, or you could have a Beastmaster with early Hawk, and then you can go there with Vision, or there are some things you can do about it, but I haven't thought about it so much since I also want to
you're not really playing,
so I haven't really had to do it, but I'm sure there's something about it, and it's obviously going to switch again once people figure out. Maybe they're going to start pushing the 2 towers really fast with Channer Ench or something, and then you can't stack Ancients or whatever. There's a lot of things that can change really fast.
Right. Okay, so in your downtime then, have you been playing a lot of pubs still?
Like a couple of days ago I got like a motivation boost for some reason. I just started playing pubs all day, and I got like 300 MMR increase.
Damn.
So I've been playing a bit of pubs.
I could use that right now. 300 MMR to put me over to 6K. That would be nice.
It's
during your time,
easy,
well, but I've always found that professional players, when they go out and spend a lot of time playing pubs, that they get maybe some perspective on certain heroes that they didn't really have before, right? Because your drafter will generally like has some ideas about what he wants to pick up, and you kind of have these heroes that are automatically like pushed aside that you don't really think about. Have you found any heroes that you've kind of identified that maybe are a bit underutilized in this current meta that could be the next big thing? Because the reason I'm asking is DreamHack Summer, right? I asked a couple different players this question. It was like Skywrath Mage. Skywrath Mage is just like really powerful. Nobody's picking it up. And then we had like 3-4 months of just pure Skywrath Mage everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there are some more gank-oriented heroes that I could see maybe are not being played at all, are simply forgotten. Nyx Assassin has been played a bit more, maybe by Cloud9 and stuff.
Yeah, Fada was just playing Nyx Assassin earlier.
I feel like that guy is really good still, and very good against some of the heroes that are being picked right now. And then there's some still Bounty Hunter. I think the hero is legit. I really do. And then there's
so in the support role, right? Not necessarily the offlane, or
well, you can run some kind of dual lane, semi-core support. It all depends on how you wanna what your idea is behind it.
Right.
And then maybe some Night Stalker and some. There are some heroes that are just simply forgotten. Even like some Bane Potom, carry Potom.
Yeah.
Not carry, but like semi-carry, lane dominance and stuff. So. Yeah, I think that could easily come back into the game. Right now, people are playing a little bit like a little bit greedy. It's sometimes it can be. It could be possible to run some people over with a specific strat if you have it. But then again, that it's also scary to pick stuff like that because suddenly the enemy
you're
has
punished so easily, right?
And you can't go high ground and stuff. So that is probably why people don't tend to want to play these kind of single target heroes so much.
Yeah, it's safer now to be running more late game.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, whereas 6.81, it was maybe safer to run more aggressive push lineups, right? So, okay, so what about, since you are playing pubs, I know a lot of pro players I've talked to are like, no, I haven't played Oracle, or he seems really OP. Have you actually played many Oracle games?
No, I haven't played a single Oracle game. I played against it, and I watched Dendy's stream. He had some mass Oracle day or whatever, and the hero seems, still don't know what his spells does.
Okay,
but
so
like not 100% at least. Yeah. But I saw him play against the Viper mid, and this Viper couldn't attack creeps or something. Then suddenly he's invis instantly and stuff. It's like, okay, the hero seems pretty good.
Yeah,
he has some pretty unique spells.
Yeah. Okay, so then we'll push aside Oracle then. What about the new heroes to Captain's Draft though? We do have, or Captain's Mode rather. We have Phoenix as well as Broodmother entering the pool. Both of them traditionally looked as offlaners. Yeah. You think they changes up the meta? We haven't really seen it being picked up like Phoenix here and there, but with some limited success. I'm not sure if I've seen a Broodmother game yet.
I think Secret played it. Maybe that was Captain's Draft.
Yeah, that's the thing. We've had some Captain's Draft games. Yeah,
but for Brood, it's gonna be the same as always with Brood.
Right.
It's like this perfect last pick kind of hero, or if you have, if the enemy has no way of dealing with Brood whatsoever, and they forgot about the hero being there. Like it's always been with that hero, and unless it was the time where he was like broken and first picked and banned. But I think it's the same. I don't think you can pick it so early because it will end up being very useless. Because it's easily counterpicked actually. But Phoenix, I don't know. I don't even know if that hero is so useful. Actually, I don't know. I don't think he's that strong.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, I haven't played Phoenix once.
Yeah.
So it's a bit hard for me to say.
Okay. All right, man. Well, we're just gonna I think cut it out from here. Do you have any shout-outs you want to give?
Not really.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, guys. This is Capitalist. Joining me was, of course, MiSeRy. And we have more interviews coming up for DreamHack. YouTube.com/join Dota Plus is where you can find them.